I know.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh my gosh. I have been doing a yard sale all day, so I have not gotten myself ready yet today.
I just woke up from my nap not too long ago, so.
Ooh,
I
nice.
read, took a shower, and took my daughter to get her haircut. And then I read some more.
Mm,
We didn't really do too much today.
I need to do that. I need to get a haircut.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should do that this week since I'm going to the con, but oh well, I don't know if I'll get there yet.
Yeah, we should do crazy things. Hello,
So,
hello. Yes. We are reading. We read in that every freaking time.
Anathema.
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 And there will be are doing a book club live show, so there will be spoilers.
Yes. Many, many spoilers since I literally just finished.
Literally.
Like
Literally.
backstage, she was
Like,
like,
literally just finished.
Hey, I did like 25 minutes before the show just
Oh, yeah.
finished. So we're winning so
This
well
was
today.
so, it's honestly so long. I've been reading for more than a week, but I admittedly haven't had much time to read. So I've only gotten like an hour or two a night. And like the last 3 days, I was like, I need to move it along. So I tried to read like more, but it's just hard.
Yeah,
And
I,
definitely.
Becky just
I,
jammed through it.
I couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
I was enjoying it. I was just like, I'm so tired at the end of the day, but like, yeah, that's why I'm like, this morning is usually like in the mornings it's like the most quiet.
Yeah.
But then yeah, it's hard during the week.
Yep.
I read it mostly on the weekends, but I would lay here for like 4 hours and just do nothing but read it. And then
Yeah.
my
Mhm.
freaking Kindle would die on me.
That's how
My
my
tablet
Kindle
would
was
die.
earlier because I was trying to read while the yard sale was going on when there was nobody here. And then my Kindle was at 3%. And I was like, I was like, so I had to put it down and charge it.
Yeah.
Well, let me So do we just want to go right into it?
Yeah, let's do it. I want to talk about it.
Okay, you immediately just finished it. What's your first instinct? What was your
5 stars.
Five
same,
stars.
Yeah.
I loved it.
same.
Yeah. It's so good. And that's the thing when I'll either go one of two ways when I really like a book. I either read it super fast and I can't put it down, or like I'll read it, but I'll go so slow because I'm just absorbing it all and like I just want it in all of my bones because I love it so much. So I go slow.
Yeah.
And this is a fantasy romance, too, just
It,
FYI for people.
it is a fantasy
Yeah.
romance.
That's
Is
awesome.
this her first fantasy romance, or has she written another one? Because the ones I've read from her have been paranormal romances.
No, this is her
Yeah, I
first
think
fantasy romance.
Okay.
yeah, she normally just does like gothic, which basically has supernatural elements sometimes or horror elements
Hmm.
traditionally. So it's kind of like it feels like a paranormal sometimes. So I think this is the first one. I I think you read Nightshade, right? Doesn't that have a lot of supernatural paranormal
Yeah, but
elements?
I consider that more paranormal because for the most part it takes place in like the real world, except for when she goes to like the what's it called? Nightshade?
Is that what it's called?
That's what it's called. When she goes
I've
to
only read
Nightshade,
not
which
the
is
con yet, not the
purgatory.
king it is, but
But it's like the afterlife. It's like hell pretty much.
Oh,
And
okay. I
so
haven't
I
read that one.
so I didn't really consider that fantasy because like it for the, it takes place in the real world for the most part. So
Mm.
whereas this
yeah, it's
one
kind of like
was a
gender bending. So
completely
I feel
made
like
up
gothic
world.
can be gender bending. Yeah.
The only other one I read from her was Nocticadia, and that was also more contemporary, but just set on this creepy gothic island.
Mhm.
So that was the only other one. But she kind of has her own style. You know, her own style is this slow, sort of atmospheric, creepy,
Gothic.
Gothic.
gothic fantasy world. And she definitely put the gothic like gothic fantasy in this fantasy romance, I think very well for me. I was enjoying all of the spiders.
It was like reminding me of like The Witcher and like other things, like kind of element to it with the creatures and like all of those traditional like dark, even video games kind of thing too.
The village was giving me Sleepy Hollow vibes, but with really terrible, despicable people.
Yeah,
Like that was a kind of like where I was envisioning
I
the
really
town
liked the giant crow.
with a
dragon
horn.
thing. Yeah,
Like
whatever.
I,
With a
I
horn.
saw the fan art of that. Did you see the art of that on the special edition that came?
No, you
Oh
need
my
to send that to
god. It's
me.
like a dragon size,
I mean, I
but
just
it's a
finished it, so
crow.
You're
A
kind of
giant crow.
no, he
And
was cool. Ravox, like the
yeah.
creatures were cool.
But then
yeah.
I saw the art of it and I was like, damn, he's huge.
Yeah, and then the brother and Cadavros being these creatures with like tree skin and
Oh
antlers
yeah.
and spiders and like
Yeah.
the creature feature here was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that way. And it had a ball scene, guys. You know
It did
how
have a,
like the masquerade ball scenes. I love
I
it.
It
thought you
did,
might
yes.
I thought you might love that. With them
Like,
dancing and they weren't just like waltzing, they were like doing these like whoosh, seductive dances. I loved it.
hmm And I also liked the banter was very like I know we were talking about this in our chat, but like it was very subtle, but like at the same time it wasn't just that like snarky banter that
Yeah.
would doesn't really match the character. But it really fit with what's his name? Zivant. I can never say his name right.
Zavander?
Zavander.
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 Yeah.
It fit his personality since he's very, been traumatized and that kind of thing. So he's really
Yeah.
that grumpy
It wasn't
character.
like mean either. It wasn't like,
Mhm.
oh, we're gonna banter, but we're just gonna be mean to each other.
He's cold.
Yeah, yeah.
He's cold.
It was just
Yeah.
like little quips that like all of a sudden I would have a delayed response that'd be quippy that would just catch my husband off guard and start laughing or my friends because like that's kind of matches how I do. It's like delayed and
Yeah.
it catches you off guard.
And even still with her, he doesn't want to like talk about certain things with her because he can't. So he's very like short and cold. And it's not just because he's broody, like no, like he's
Flashback.
traumatized. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying not to go flashbacks. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, how do we feel
Me.
about the female main character?
Well,
Did I
wait,
already
his
forget her
brother
name
was
like literally
in
2
there.
seconds ago? Maeve. How do we feel about Maeve?
Maybe.
I liked her. I thought she was
hmm
good.
We're so descriptive. She was good.
She was
He
good.
wasn't unusually naive on that.
I think she was that perfect blend of naivete and
Mhm.
her wanting to know more. Like she has
Yeah.
lots of growing to do. And she's definitely not a strong female character in physicality, but she has heart, and I think that's what I love about
I
her.
think she wants to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And she wants to connect people because I think that's the big thing. Her biggest fear is being alone or
Mm-hmm.
um, being in total despair, I think is what
Mhm.
she said too as well. But I'm like, I can see that because she's been ostracized and even her quote unquote sister wasn't her real sister because she's
No.
just been basically treated as outside and just an outcast of the whole town. Not even just her family.
It was kind of satisfying, the ending of this, because the whole town basically has turned into creatures because they were all terrible people. And I was like, when she went into that house with Agatha, like skin suit Agatha and skin suit Uncle Felix, I was like, he got turned to a monster, and I was like, yeah, she's gonna kill him. But he was so gross.
He was. This book was kind of depraved.
It was
was.
depraved. It was gross. He
You're
was
like,
in
That's
his
like
naked skin suit.
it's like he
hanging
had some
there.
like necrophilia going on with him.
Yes, he was gross.
And
He was
feeling up
gross.
his niece and
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that's why I was compared it to Witcher, because like especially at the end, like throughout that, like the monsters, the people of the town become monsters or reflecting their inside are now been changed into monsters because that's reflecting truly what they are. So it's kind of a little bit of a karmic kind of circumstance at the same
Yeah.
time.
it's kind of like what's that Will Smith movie, Men in Black? That's what they did.
Yes.
Came and
That's what I was like.
invaded their
Like where
body.
he like grabs his head and his skin is like, oh, that better or whatever.
Yeah, that's what
It
I
was so
imagined.
gross.
It was gross.
It's so gross. I love the grossness in here though. I
Yeah,
loved all
because that's
that.
because I didn't like parasitic worms. I'm like, you told me like parasitic worms with Dr. Katie. I'm like, I don't know, but I'm like, it wasn't so grotesque that you couldn't,
Yeah.
read it. You know what I
I
mean?
My
think
God,
this one was grosser than Nocticadia.
I don't know. I
But
never read that one. I couldn't tell you. But his brother in the basement, I almost cried reading that scene
which she was
when she was like holding
rubbing
him
his
and rubbing his head.
I
I was like,
know.
this poor boy.
This poor boy's never known like a kind touch from a human. She's singing to him. Oh my god, yes, I hear you on that one. I almost cried too.
And he's like trying to control himself so his spiders don't go feral. And
Oh my
I was
gosh.
like,
They
oh
don't.
my God,
Yeah,
that's
they
so
don't like
sweet.
loud noises. So that if you're not loud, then they
Yeah.
won't attack.
So one thing I have a question on. So the priestess or the mage or whatever sent her back to the human world or helped her back to the human world. Is that because she is like one of Kadavros's people?
I
I
don't
think
know
so.
what she was, but I got the feeling she was working with like the not good people.
The not good people, right? Because she just kind of like sends her back and then poof is gone.
Yeah,
Like,
we don't hear
where
from
did
her.
she go?
Yeah,
And I
think the
can't
king
imagine
was
she was doing
really-
it out of the goodness of her heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if she's with Kadavros or she has her own ulterior motive.
But like that wasn't her sister on the other side of the wall then. So I'm
It
like
was
wondering
the
if
yeah.
like
Probably
did
just
the mage chick
mirage
was
thing,
she like
yeah.
projecting what she wanted her to see?
I think there was just you know how in the beginning when she was like, if you hear your name in the woods, don't answer
Mhm.
it because it's like an illusion type of thing. But I don't think it was Melantha. I think it was just the creepiness of the woods.
You just think it was an
And
illusion?
Like,
yeah.
well, she found her sister at the end in that hole.
Yeah, she
and
did, but it
in the
wasn't.
crone witch's
Under the
house.
floorboard and the crones like what was that about?
That
Yeah,
was
what the
so
fuck
messed
was she like? Oh no, I haven't seen. Bitch, she was under your floorboards. What do you mean you haven't
I
seen
know.
her?
That's
So
why I
why
think that one mage was working with the like the political side, the Lasons, whatever they're called, king.
Relations, yeah.
So I think they're probably trying to work with Kadavros to try to get some sort of claim to power. But it's
Mhm.
weird how the Crone Witch came into it because I feel like she was like the only one in that town that was kind of advocating for May. What's her name? Maybe.
Mavis?
Mavis.
Maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
she was basically a magicless.
She was
Not
a.
human. She was Fae, but not Fae, but you know what I mean.
I can't
They're not.
remember what
They're
the
not
fuck they're
Fae.
called.
They're like magical people, but she doesn't have
Yeah.
magic.
A macer? Is that what they're called?
Oh yeah, Macer, a Mancer,
Mancer. There we go.
Mancer. But
Yeah.
now she's Nillivar, because
Sure.
she doesn't have
She came from Zivander's place.
the like glossary. I definitely am glad I
Yeah,
read
she was
that.
one of those humans, wasn't she?
Yeah,
She was one of the humans that was living in that got kicked out.
I don't think she was human. She lived for hundreds of years.
Like almost a millennia. I
A
think she
crone.
said she was kicked out of
She's
Zavander's people.
Etherean.
So she moved to Nilivir.
Yeah.
So maybe she is the same race or species as Zavander.
Well, at the end, she said they let an Etherean live here. So she's Etherean, which is the place that Zavander's from.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a
Listen,
magic
that
wielding person
glossary,
is like
I
a
did
magic.
not look at that glossary.
Okay,
I did, but I just
I skimmed it. I was
So-
like, how long is this shit?
so
like,
I
okay,
do
I got the gist.
I do think there's a little bit of spoilers in that glossary with some of the phrases that are explained in the glossary that when you get to them in the book, like it almost like I knew what his pet name for her was already. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
His moon witch.
His moon witch. You didn't have a. Although
Well,
one
it
time,
did annoy me that a couple times he called her his little moon witch, and I was
Yes!
like, no,
yes,
Yeah,
no.
I was
Little
like,
Miska is my
oh,
little
moon
moon
witch.
I know
And
you
then-
don't like little in the name.
And then one time he added little, and I was like, oh no, Becky's gonna not like this.
I was like, stop
Yeah,
it.
it says my little moon witch is Luna Miska.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, no.
And then
stop it.
the phrase that Rakaya tells her to tell him, and he'll
That was
instantly,
so
yeah.
funny.
which I think the phrase is like "ravage me" or something like that. I
Yeah,
forget
like
what
the
it was.
way that like
His
he just
sister,
like
man.
goes like
I
ooh.
loved the sister.
She was stirring shit.
Yeah, I think if I had
Um,
any criticisms at all, it is very long, but that's just Keri Lake. Like that is a Keri Lake book.
Yeah, that's a gothic. That's like gothic fantasy for her too. Yeah, I think gothic in general tends to be a slower build.
Well, I'm
'Cause I
trying to
wouldn't
think
cut
like
anything out.
where would you cut something out?
Right, I wouldn't cut anything
Yeah.
out. Just maybe some of the descriptions a little less so, but even that, like that kind of was making the book.
And she's not overly flowery in her descriptions. It's pretty
No.
enough to give you the atmosphere
Mhm.
feelings and enough to actually be able to see in your mind eye what the descriptions are. So I just think maybe because it's intended to be that way, but I don't know, I'm interested to see if it's since it's a duology, which I do appreciate, it's not being split into like or spread out into like 4 books, that it's very succinct that she's going to be doing a duology part, which I think is coming out in March.
Yeah. It's not Enigma. That's a different book that she's writing. That one comes out in April. It's Eldritch,
Eldridge, yeah.
Which is book 2 of this one.
which is book 2 of this one. And you could definitely kind of feel all those like Eldritch horror moments in this. And I loved those parts. Like the when they first went to get Dolian at that one place, the Cavros, what is it? Corvus Keep or something like that. With all the like, were they like just mancers who succumbed to too much magic or something? Like they overdosed on magic, so they basically became like not carnivores. What is it called when you eat people? Cannibals.
Like
And I was just
zombies,
imagining, yeah, I was just imagining them as kind of like Gollum, or what is his name? Yeah, Gollum kind of type people, but as cannibals. I loved that part. And I'm like, where's the stones at? They're in his keep, but are they going on the road? I guess they're going on the road now.
That was the only one thing that was weird for me. At one point I got a little confused with the timing because they said, well, the ball is tonight, but then they were talking about leaving like is that night or the next day. So I was getting a little confused on the timing on that. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the only part where I got a little.
Yeah, they were like, we're gonna leave tonight, and then they're like, well, tomorrow when you do that. I was like, what is that? Weren't you leaving tonight?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I was like, wait, what's going on?
I don't know, I didn't pay any attention.
Becky was already through that part. So
Okay. I didn't pay attention to those little things. I was too caught up in the big things.
Yeah. This was so good though. I really, really loved it.
Yeah, I think is it Rakaya? I think
Yeah.
it's the
His
sister.
sister. Yeah.
I liked their like friendship. You could tell like they're very similar but yet very different. And I found it is interesting that she was saying to Mavis that you basically I need your presence basically. Like you're very calming. So I wonder if there's something about Mavis. Obviously there's so much we don't know yet about her powers and her background of like why she has that effect.
Yeah.
Or is it just her personality? That whole thing.
I think
Kindred
it was
spirit.
just more like Rakaya finally found a kinship with someone that she could feel safe with, because Mavis never asked anything of her, you know?
Didn't she have a power though where she could like feel something about people?
Rakaya can Rakaya can take the emotions and pain away from other people.
Yeah, that's what it is.
She can
Yeah.
also read their minds, kind of like Dane if she
She can
touches
read
them.
their mind. Yeah. Yeah, she can read their minds too. And that's why she was always doing drugs or whatever to like
Yeah.
get away from that. And then she got taken advantage of. But then Mavis was always, she just has that kind soulness of her, and she was only gave Rakaya friendship at every turn. You know what I mean? Like she was only like that. And I think that's what she kind of meant by like she feels like she's, what did she say? She was feels like she's finally alive or something like that, or she's finally free, or she said something like
Feeling
that to
clear,
her.
yeah, feeling like clear and not wanting to escape. And
Yeah, yeah. Like she wants to be in the now.
When they're
yeah,
jumping
and how
around
Mavis
having a
asked
pillow
her,
fight.
Oh my god, the
yeah,
pillow fight.
She gives her the horny juice.
that was funny.
She tried to set her up with her
Tried
brother
so hard.
the whole time. I loved all of her like little moments of like you need to get Savander and her together. Like, girlfriend, stop. Calm down.
She definitely has a thing for the girl who showed up though.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that Dolian was teaching or whatever.
Allura.
Yeah, she definitely has an attraction to her.
Oh yeah.
She is not attracted to Therian or Thorian or whatever the fuck his name is that likes her.
Warren, yeah, the
Warren,
other
whatever.
assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna be like a little bit of an Azrael, I feel like.
There's some more dynamics there for
There's
sure. Like,
there's
bro, she ain't into you. She's into women.
totally adds more dynamics. Although we only got really one scene with Casimir, is that what his name is? And I was really enjoying him. And I was like, I
Oh
need
yeah,
more Casimir.
he had like that found family like banter with Xander, which was really kind of funny when they were like traveling.
Yeah.
That was gave me a chuckle.
Yeah. This one was like, even though there's a lot of atmosphere, the plot, there's so much plot in this.
Yeah.
It was a lot. Like just trying to figure out who's on what side. Like even the king, I'm like, whose side is the king on? And I feel like the king is just kind of on his own side and he doesn't want his son to die, so he'll do anything.
Well, and if
Yeah, and
his
then
son
he
dies, then
plays
cadaverous?
happen.
Yeah,
He
in
releases
order
a
for
plague or
Cadavros to die,
something like
his son
that?
has to die.
So does he really not want his son to die, or does he just not want to release a plague? Does he
I think
really
that was
love
his
his son?
bargain, you know what I mean? Like that was his bargain to keep his son, like Cadavros, from killing his son. He made a bad deal.
Yeah, I think didn't he say initially it was just tied to an amulet, and then we find out at the end that it's actually tied to Cadaverous' soul. So if Cadaverous dies, the plague gets released, kind of situation, kind of like a fail-safe
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. Crazy, man. The stakes.
So I'm assuming they're gonna have to
I
kill Cadaverous first.
But if they do that,
Then
they
his
kill the
son will die?
prince. And so it's like, how do they break that spell?
Yeah.
And then why did her eyes turn silver? Is it because the crone
I
died?
wonder if there's something like she's like the goddess of death.
I think she is the goddess of death.
Yeah, so I wonder if that's
Yeah,
gonna play into
maybe
his
she's
son. Like maybe she's gonna bring him back to life or something.
That's why I don't
Maybe
think she's
they're
mortal
both
either.
reincarnated. I
Yeah.
feel like they're probably both reincarnated, is my feeling.
Yeah,
So maybe
that
that's
makes sense too.
coming into play.
Because why even tell that whole story with the goddess and then her lover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if the one that she's talking to is the goddess in that dark place that they all go to, I'm like, that's yourself. So really, if you're meeting the goddess in the dark place, that means it's probably yourself, your past self, or something like that, like your reincarnated self. So very interesting.
And I feel like Zavander is gonna have to keep his ability because I feel like that's tied to her because she can
Yeah.
like wield his power through him, and it makes her feel alive.
I wonder if she could only wield his powers because they're mates or whatever, or if that's a power of hers. Like she can wield other people's powers. She keeps hearing voices.
Yeah. Isn't Cadavros the god of death and destruction or plague?
No,
And if she's
Cadavros is Pastilios. This book is probably super confusing to anyone who hasn't freaking read it because there's so many different names. There's so many different words for regular old fantasy romance.
They are not fae.
They're not fae. They're mancers.
They're called something else. They are not. Well, I feel like sometimes they refer to themselves as witches.
I mean, they call her a witch.
They call her a witch, but she's not actually a witch. She's a goddess.
Corvicae.
That's it, because she's with the crow.
Yeah. Is it Corvicae or Corvicae? I don't know how to say it.
And I know Corvic is like the Latin for crow.
There's the glossary.
But I did not look at the glossary. I just went with it.
I'm trying to go back to the beginning.
Because I was like, I am not reading this whole fucking glossary. No, thank you.
I don't know. I almost needed to.
He's the god of pestilence and famine.
Yeah.
That's what he is. Okay.
And she's the goddess of death.
Mage Kai is god of alchemy and immortality.
Who the fuck's that?
That's the mages who they worship, I think. When they were saying the Mage Kai and such, I was getting so confused. I'm like, aren't they mages? And I'm like, so they worship the Mage Kai, which is the god of alchemy and immortality.
But there's only like two. There's only two like groups, right? There's the
Lunaseers
and the Soulseers, and then the Corvicae.
Yeah, it's Corvicae because it says Kai. Yeah.
So really, there's three. There's the Corvicae, the Luna, whatever, and the Solus.
Well, there's other races. If you'd read the glossary, that they haven't even mentioned yet.
Nope, but didn't.
Dryadivirs?
Those got to be the tree people.
They are the tree people.
That's funny.
The Elvenira, which are just elves. They're Elvenira. And then Aramecian, those are the desert people. Yeah, this world is huge, and we have only touched the tip of it in this first book, which is really, I feel like the next book is going to be a road trip book mixed with like figuring out how to also like a big bad battle scene type of thing.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to stay in like the human realm, or do you think they're going to go back to?
They're going to Calixar.
Because don't they have to find that? I bet they have to find that stupid gorge where all those gems are.
Yeah, she said they were going to the island of Calixar, which is where the Elvenira people live.
Okay.
That's what she said at the end, because I just read it.
I'll take your word for it. It's been about a week. So.
I know.
So wait, the morose guy that she was engaged to, he was the character. Because he's the one that discovered. I wonder if he's like some god or something. Because he.
Oh no, he was eaten by
Yeah, he was eaten.
Yeah, he was eaten by Corvicos, or what's his name?
He's now Cadavros.
Cadavros, yeah, Cadavros. He's the skin suit.
Yeah, it's Cadavros in a Moros skin suit.
It's like Men in Black all over again.
It's Men in Black. Okay, yeah. It's Edgar. Just call him Edgar.
Which I had a feeling when I read that. I was like, I bet that's that's gonna go down like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was telling him, "Oh, I know where these gems are," and then he like cocked his head, and I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna."
And it's all because he found a vein with like all the gems and all the magic.
Mm-hmm.
And now Cadavros is going to use that to get powerful again.
Is
Yeah.
that was that all her people, the Kai people that is that where their bodies were basically like that? Is that what happened to them? Or like
Yeah,
what
they
is
threw
the
them all in
story?
that vein, and
But they threw him in an ocean. Didn't
one
they?
of them became
They
that
caught the
tree, though, right? Like they
Yeah.
threw him in the thing, and then the woman became the tree.
The priestess became the tree to save the people, her
Mm.
Corvikai people. And then all the other Corvikai people got thrown in the ocean vein or something like that, or taken to the ocean thing. What did
Yeah,
they
and
call it?
so that doesn't relate to that goddess of fertility that ball they were celebrating where she basically was somebody celebrating basically her being attacked, basically. So
Yeah.
that's not related to that one, is it? With the tree thing? That's just
No,
see? See?
no, weren't they at
It's
the ball because it was her becoming?
Oh, that was the king's daughter.
That was the princess's becoming.
Yeah.
Where,
yeah, they had
she
like
has to get raped by
they,
somebody.
yeah, they had stags
And
and
people watch.
crows things. Yeah, it's weird. Like very
This book was very rapey. Like, well, I will say like near assaulty.
Mm-hmm.
well
Because
I
really,
think
everyone who got assaulted was assaulted previously outside of the book. And then everything else in this book is attempted.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's no like real on screen
Mm-mm.
present day.
Yeah. Although I think it kind of
Her uncle almost
highlighted.
got her.
Yeah, that was weird.
So
Um,
many gross.
yeah. But I think it actually spoke to a lot of it though, like the fact of the mirroring thing of like the theme and the lesson in there is about how the town people are monsters, but also the differences in these different worlds on purity and women and how they're treated with being a patriarchal society and versus in this way it's like still very similar, but like they don't want you to be. They consider it not to be version's a good thing. It's very weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. How
Stop.
really explaining, but yeah.
I know it's almost dinner time. Um,
Like, wait, hold on.
stinking cat, man. One thing I can't wait for also in the next book. Here comes the other one. The death of the general that assaulted Savander. I want him to like fillet the flesh from her skin. Like
Mm-hmm.
she is a terrible.
No. When he was having those nightmares, though, when he was in the cabin with her,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh my god."
And it kept like switching from her face to the general's face. And
Mm-hmm.
oh my God. I know that's the part I was like trying to like kind of go fast forward through. And I was like, I can't fast forward through this. This is like,
Yeah. I was like, my god, that man.
how brutal.
He went
This
through a
man
lot.
is tortured. He is a
He
tortured
was.
man.
But he was just like the whole consent thing for her and him, like her realizing that he was traumatized and how she wanted to make sure that he was okay and that she has his consent for every like step away, which I thought was
Yeah.
so touching. And then him at the same time as well, just
Ugh,
always making sure.
I
They
loved
both
it.
went through it.
I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it.
I
And
mean, I'm
seeing him
sure it
still have
hurt, but
consent and it
I'm kind of
not
looking forward to her getting
break his
his piercings for her pleasure.
I know.
true. But
I
hey, just
know.
because like consent is like having that conversation in books is can be boring. I'm like, no, it can be. This was not boring. It was still even more impactful when they do because it's like a what
Hmm.
2 second line. It's not like making it
Mhm.
boring. Let's interrupt this. story to that. So sorry, that's my pet peeve when people say like you can't have consent in books. Like it's ruins the flow.
And it's also not difficult for characters or even people to realize that there's trauma there. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's glaringly obvious from actions, even physical scars or mental scars. Like when you care for somebody, you can see it and you immediately go, whoa.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful book, I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
This is only my second 5-star, third 5-star of the year.
Oh, of the year. Okay, wow.
Maybe second.
I've
But
given
this is your
quite a
second
few
book
5
by
stars
Keri
this
Lake,
month.
right?
Sorry, what?
This is your second book by Keri Lake, though, right?
This is
Or
my
have you
second book by Keri Lake, and I gave both of them 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Same here.
Yep, I did too.
No, this is my third. Because I almost forgot the Cinderella horror book that I read recently.
Oh,
That I read right before this one.
Oh,
No.
no, it was just a 5-star. I was like, that was by Keri Lake.
No, that was just a 5-star. So this is my third 5-star of the year. I'm slow this year. What the heck?
Feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
I do need to read her other books, though.
I need to read the Nightshade books.
I want to read Master of Salt and Bones next, since I have it. But then I want to read Nightshade.
I think I have... The one I wanted to read was Isle of Sin and Shadow.
That was good, too. Yeah.
You read that one?
No, someone recommended it to me when I was looking for like angsty Rex. They mentioned that one. It's like set in Louisiana or like in the bayou kind of scenario, and it's very like suspense but like gothic. A little mafia maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't read it, but I want to read all.
She doesn't have like an extensive backlist.
No, I think I could probably read all of hers this year because I don't think it's too many.
They're just chunky. They're chunky monkeys.
There's also Juniper Unraveling, which is one I've always seen from her, but I don't recognize some of her other books. They're more contemporary. She has a lot of books. What are you talking about?
Oh, really?
Yeah, Standalones is Isle of Sin and Shadows, Ripple Effect.
But there are a lot of contemporary books.
Okay, well, I feel like I could get her gothic stuff then.
Yeah.
Sandman Duet.
So the date right now, it says expected publication of Eldritch is April 1st. But I doubt that that's going to be...
I was like, she has not been promoting anything about that. And I feel like if it was coming up that soon, she would be promoting something about it.
And she is promoting Enigma a lot more. So I have a feeling Eldritch is going to be pushed back.
That's not Keri Lake. That's Runix.
No.
Enigma.
Am I getting them mixed up?
I think
I'm getting them mixed up. Am I? I'm getting them mixed up.
I don't think I saw Keri Lake really promote too much for this one until it was like closer to release. That I remember seeing it like as soon as it was released is when I saw a lot of promotions. I don't know if she just waits until she gets confirmation, maybe so she doesn't have to delay or anything. She is self-publishing, I think.
You're right. Enigma is not Keri Lake.
Only because I so anticipated with the Enigma as well. Like, it's one of my anticipated ones I really want to read this year.
Why did I think it was Keri Lake? I wrote it as Runix. Oh my god, I'm dumb.
Do you see that?
Oh, that's interesting.
That's the crow. That's a rat.
He's cool as hell, dude.
It is a rat.
Crow.
So weird looking.
Look how tiny she is compared to him.
The whole thing with the fire drakes in him was cool as hell.
I'm like, that bitch is huge.
She's got a freaking dog whistle.
Bigger than the fire drakes, I think, too. What it was saying in the book. That's so funny.
I really wanted that too. I went and I looked on their stupid website to see if I could get a copy of it, and they sold out.
Oh, what is that?
It's the special edition of Anathema.
Anathema.
I really want this edition.
This book that we read.
Yeah, this one.
This one.
This one.
If they had special edition, I wish that I could get. I love these
Because they had on their website, they
art.
had like an option of like no sprayed edges, and I was like, oh well, if I can get the no sprayed, whatever, I'll sold out. I was like, God damn
This is the Lit Haven one, right?
it. Yeah.
Was it today? When was this?
No, it was like back in November.
Okay, but where's his horn? Doesn't he have one single horn when he grows up?
Or something like that, yeah.
Maybe it's under his feathers.
Was that like fan art? Maybe.
It was the reverse dust jacket of the special edition.
Of the Lit Haven one.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I would love if they like had like more merch stuff too.
I wonder why she hasn't gotten picked up for Trad Pub.
Was Master of Salt and Bones not Trad Pub? I thought it was.
No, she hasn't been picked up at all. I think, which is funny because people that like the, oh gosh, was it Two Twisted, whatever that one is, One Dark Window.
Yeah,
I wasn't a fan of those ones, but I'm like, for people that like Gothic, I'm like, it's just it should be picked up. I think.
like somebody like Runix got picked up.
Yeah,
and this is right along the same lines as that.
I'm like, how does that happen?
Same vein.
I'm like, Keri Lake is a million time better author.
I mean, I liked Runix too, but for different reasons.
I like Gothicana too, so like,
but the writing is way different. It's way different. It's a different vibe.
It's like her writing is good, so I don't understand why she hasn't. Maybe the freaking Book Talk just hasn't picked them up yet because they're not spicy enough.
They're spicy.
Runix does get a little bit more spice forward compared to Keri Lake, but they're both not overly spicy, I guess. It's just this style, I think.
It's just mind-boggling to me. Because I have a feeling if her books got picked up, they would do them with like sprayed edges and shit. Because it just fits the vibe.
I really never think that it's like a spice level thing. Because I mean, Fourth Wing is hugely viral and it's not as spicy as many other good books. Like it's a virality of it, you know, it's the feralness of the fan base. That's what
every
I don't know.
I try to get a Keri Lake book, they're fucking sold out. I'm like,
they are.
It's because, you know, traditional publishing is always catching behind the indies, so they're not really doing any of the legwork. The indie author is actually doing all the work. So it's just what they think is going to sell.
I mean, it seems like she's got a built-in fan base. Everybody wants her freaking books. So I don't know why they wouldn't like pick. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't want to be picked up. Maybe she likes being an indie author.
She gets more independence that way too. And I'm like, I think she should be making pretty well because these are freaking awesome.
Yeah, Gothicana by Runix, because these books are like the vibe is very similar, honestly. Has like 87,000 ratings on Goodreads, and Nocticadia by Keri Lake, which is indeed a better book, 63,000 ratings on it. So they're kind of in that same universe too of popularity, I guess.
It's mind-boggling. I just want a pretty edition. I hate my copies that I have of Nightshade and Infernium.
They did those terrible. They did you dirty on that.
They should have offered a fucking refund. I would have sent those damn things back. Now I'm stuck with them. The only thing I like about them is really the black pages.
Oh yeah. They're black with bright wording.
Fable.
Fable. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Don't ever buy from them. I don't care how pretty their shit looks. I will never trust them again.
These lit so dark that you couldn't see the edges. Is that the one where everything was so dark that it wasn't actually defined?
It was supposed to be stained glass look,
they were supposed to be like vibrant stained glass on the mock-up, and then I get them and I'm like, I can't even see them. They're so dark. And like the end papers, they're the same on both, on all the same. They're the same. And they're dark. And it's just, I'm like.
Was Lit Haven the only one that did Anathema special edition?
I think so. But they also did that reprint of the Nightshade. They did a Nightshade duology, and I wanted that one, but by the time I got to it, it was sold out.
And I know there was some of Nocticadia, but I don't know.
And I was like, God dang it. Reprint those bad boys. I want one. I want a better edition.
I want to get off the waiting list for Arcane Society because I feel like they do a lot of the indie popular.
I wish they would do some.
They
Very late.
they announced the emojis for all the books.
Mm-hmm.
And Autumn did her guesses of what they are, but definitely Spark and Quicksilver are in there for sure.
Right.
But I don't know if that's going to be like a non-subscriber special edition, which I'm assuming it might be.
Listen, Crystal, if you ever see something you want, you just send me the money for it and I'll buy it for you because I'm a subscriber. But I don't want those damn things. I don't want those damn things. I am. I'm subscribed to them, but I haven't. The last set I got was the Ever King and the Ever Queen.
You didn't get Karita Hallie's? How rude!
No. Because I haven't read them, and I was like, I don't want to get these if I know I like. Karina,
I don't know that you
would. Me.
Yeah, I don't know that you would like the blood orange ones. Honestly, I don't think you would like them.
So it's like, I don't want to. I was so excited because I had just finished reading The Ever King when it was announced, and I was like, oh, I liked that book. Okay, I'll get it. But even the what was the witch one that they just did? The
Witch Collector.
The Witch Collector. It's like I hadn't read that, and I was like, I don't.
Yeah,
it's a really pretty book, but I didn't read it, and I didn't want to pay for it. That and what was the one that is it? Carissa Weeks? Is that who they're doing?
That's the Witch Collector one.
Oh, is that one?
Yeah, the last one that I got was the Ivy Asher one.
That one, yeah. I hadn't read that, so I didn't know if I would like it. But I did read The Witch Collector. I read the first book, and it was fine. It got 3 stars. I was like, I don't care about this series.
Yeah, Carissa Weeks is the next February-March book.
Yeah.
So I'll get those, I guess, because I'd never... It did renew on me.
Do you have to like sign up every quarter? I thought I saw that in an email. Like I signed up to be on wait list, but I don't know if I had to keep doing that every quarter or whatever.
No, they just have like a huge wait list.
Yeah.
If you join their Facebook group, so you can email their customer service and they'll tell you what number in line you are for the wait list. And then in their Facebook group, they'll go, okay, invite set up to this number now. Mm-hmm. So you can kind of see how long you might have to wait.
That's funny. You know what it feels like? You know in the scene in Beetlejuice where he's in that waiting room? That's what I feel like. I'm like,
and he has to strip himself.
You'll get there eventually.
I'm always behind the time because it's like it took me a while to even decide to do it. I'm like, but now it's been, I feel like more than half a year.
Well, I like them because they have unlimited skips.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Now, when they get to the point where they're like, "Oh, you can only have so many skips," I might change my mind.
And they obviously, there's always shipping delays with all of these things. Like there will always be production delays, there will always be shipping delays, but I feel like they're very on top of their communication.
Yeah, they're pretty good about it.
They're like, okay, they're pretty on top of the communication and everything like that. Like it tells you, all right, it's on its way to port. Mm-hmm. It's at the port. God knows when customs is going to release it.
Mm-hmm. Although my sister-in-law I ordered her those Anne Bishop set that they did, mm-hmm. that they then had to recall, or they were offering refunds because like the book formatting was fucked up.
Oh no.
And I told my sister-in-law, I'm like, you need to read these books and let me know if you want to keep them. And if not, we can send them back and get a refund. So she read it and she said that the formatting was only messed up in the first book and not the other 2. And she's like, so do I get a replacement? I'm like, nope, you have to send all 3 books back and then you'd get a refund. She's like, well, they're too pretty. I'll just deal with the... She's like, it's fine. I know what they're trying to say. I'm like, okay. So I think they could quality control a little better.
I don't necessarily mind when that happens because that's a unique book. You know what I mean? Like misprints and stuff like that. I don't know. You see that in the collector's market all the time, like these misprinted books or, stuff like that.
But it's like I feel like they should catch that in like quality. Like they should print one and make sure it's all good until do it.
Someone needed more coffee that day. I don't know.
That's what they should have done on that stupid Nightshade edition. They should have checked that shit before they sent it out. And those bastards didn't even offer a refund.
Yeah.
At least Arcane offered a refund.
To me, that was the fault of the Black Pages and them not testing that first.
Yeah,
because
they should have.
That needed a layer of primer to make it
they
white.
Put freaking white on there and then done it. Something.
Yeah, it was just awful. Badly done ones.
They didn't even try to offer any solution for.
I wonder if that was the first book that they ever had Black Pages with.
I don't know. But they sit on my shelf, and every time I look at them, I'm like,
makes you angry. Makes you angry and angrier.
I'm like, I spent money on that. I'm just waiting for a new edition to come out so I can get the better edition. But one of my friends, is she subscribed to Lit Haven? I can't remember, but she's like, it takes forever to get their book. She's like, well, those books went out in like November or something. Anathema did. She's like, we'll probably get them in 2 years.
The one I literally just got an email for because I signed up for the wait list, but I'm not going to get it. It's probably already, The Poisoner by Ivy Ophelia. I really want that book, even though I haven't read it yet. But the Lit Haven edition is a leatherette folded and debossed edition. So it doesn't have a dust jacket on it. It's just a leather binded cover. And it's gorgeous. And it's only $38 plus shipping, tax, whatever. Oh no, it's $38 without the sprayed edges, and then another $12 with the sprayed edges. So I like that they kind of do that. But obviously everyone wants the sprayed edges. It comes in like a case, the slip case.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a really well done book, but I think it's not going to be shipping until August.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a pre-order, so I guess that makes sense.
Well, that's the thing. If you do pre-orders, there shouldn't be a cap on that. Like, be like, I'm willing to pre-order. Just give me the damn book when it gets there.
Yeah.
I like the cover-to-cover box. That's why that's not too bad. Although they did a reprint of for people that didn't get the chance for Gothicana. And hold on a second. Let me show you.
Yeah, August is when this is shipping. Let me see.
It was supposed to be embossed, barely there.
That's just it's hard to tell on here, but you should look at this on their website because it's like.
Isn't cover to cover though? Don't they do paperbacks?
Yeah, that's why I liked it. But this one is supposed to have the chandelier embossed because I loved this cover with the piano because me and Amanda plays piano. It's supposed to be embossed, foiled a little bit, and it's not even there. It's like they put a little tiny little dot and barely put anything in there. So I was like, really? But at least I like the cover. But yeah, that was really frustrating. And it's supposed to be embossed, that too. Crazy.
I'm subscribed to Arcane, Fairy Loot, Young Adult, and Owl Crate, Adult and Young Adult. But Owl Crate's like Arcane. They let you skip unlimited, so anytime I'm not interested in a book, I just skip.
Do they let you skip in Fairy Loot?
You get 4 a year.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, they're everyone when they do their online. I'm like, okay, those ones are consistently good. So
Fairy Loot does, and I feel like that's why a lot of people stay with them is for when they do their box set editions or their special run that aren't part of the subscription. Because you have to, if you're not on the subscription with them, chances are you'll miss out on those special ones because they allow subscribers early access to them.
Yeah.
And I think they have a adult YA and a romantasy one. But is the adult and romantasy everyone like better one than the other? 'Cause I probably would do the romantasy.
I've had all three of them at one point or another. I canceled my the adult one because I wasn't liking the books. I canceled the romantasy because I wasn't liking the books. So now I'm on the young adult, and I haven't really read any of the ones that I've gotten from young adult yet. So I can't say whether those are good.
And I was the same way with both of them. I wasn't caring about the books that they cared about. And I also think they're a little bit more expensive. So I was like, nah.
Yeah, they're like, I think it cost me like $38 a month.
See, that's why I wanted the Arcane Society ones. I'm like, those books, the books they do, I'm like, I want that book.
Well, they also are bi-monthly, so it's not $38 a month. It's $38 every 2 months, but you get 2 books.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
So it's a good deal. Like you usually get 2 books, and like the Ivy Asher ones, one of those books is a bind
They're like
up.
a bind up. So
It was like
I think
4
that's what they're
books.
doing with the Chris a Week Switch Collector too, isn't it? The bind up.
Yeah, it's like a bind up.
How thick is that book gonna be?
They're smaller print and thinner
Okay.
pages, so I don't think it's going to be that. Like, I mean, you're talking similar,
Because that's like a 3-book series.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I do think like I've liked Arcane the most of the ones that I've tried.
Okay.
Because I did Outbreak way back in the day.
Like, what the hell is that?
But there's some other newer ones that are coming out, like Moonlight. I like their books. I don't know how new they are, but they're something Moonlight. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't always buy special editions either.
Yeah.
As I sit here with my 4 special edition pre-orders for RomantasyCon. But like I don't always get special editions.
Well, you know what I like about Arcane too is they tell you what the fucking books are.
Yes.
Before the renewal date. They're like, this is what the books are gonna be.
And they show you what they're gonna look like.
Before the renewal. I hate that about Fairy Loot is they're just like, oh, here's a theme. And if it wasn't for that Autumn girl who guesses, I wouldn't freaking know half the time because I'm not
paying $40 for a mystery book.
Yeah, I hate that. I'm like, why can't you just tell me what the fucking book is? What is the point of giving me these stupid themes? Do you think they work care about the themes? I don't care about the theme.
I
just know what book it is.
I swear to God, I think they work with Autumn. I think they just email Autumn, hey, this book's coming out. Because she's like, oh, bam, and she's spot on.
Funny.
Yeah. That or she's like, somebody in the company is friends with her and she's like,
yeah.
I won't reveal my sources though. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't know and I'd be like, oh, well, this sounds like shit.
So do we have any last thoughts on Anathema?
Yeah, I need the next book.
Yeah.
I need the next book.
Need the next book. Is that going to be our... Wait, it comes out in April, right?
Oh my God, don't tell me that right now.
Apparently. I wonder if the audiobook is going to be... Is the audiobook dual cast for Anathema?
Yes.
Anathema?
Oh, no, wait.
Anathema.
Every time I have to stop myself. I'm like, I want to say Anathema, but I'm like, no, that's the American bad way. It's Anathema.
Listen, it's one of them, okay? I don't care. Anathema, aluminum.
The only way I know it is because it's like I've heard it in video games a lot, so in fantasy movies and stuff.
The British way of saying it, probably.
Oh, wasn't it in this book that the word Eidolon was mentioned? Wasn't it in this book?
Yeah. I say Eidolon. Yeah.
Eidolon.
It's Eidolon. And every fucking time I look at that word now, I'm like, no, it's not. It's Eidolon. That's how I'm saying it.
I say it Eidolon.
Yeah, that's how I say it too. But it's Eidolon.
Shut your face. It's not Eidolon.
That is how Google says it's pronounced as Eidolon.
Google's stupid and wrong. We all know that.
Because I was like trying to do like, well, Hooked on Phonics worked for me. And I'm like, I think it's Eidolon.
Yeah, because that's the second book in the Wraith King series is
Eidolon.
Yeah, I'm like,
Shut up.
So I looked it up, the pronunciation, and it was like Eidolon, and I was like, whatever. No, it's not.
it's Eidolon in my brain.
I'm trying to look it up in the glossary, but it's not in the glossary.
That's what it says.
Eidolon.
Shut your face. No, it's not.
It's not. It's Eidolon.
It's Eidolon.
They're wrong.
I'm like literally nope, it's not gonna be in it. Okay, let me see what the wiki thing on Kindle says about Eidolon. We'll do that. I'll look it up.
It's like ghost or something like that. That's what it means. Wraiths or ghosts or something like that. But yeah, I saw that and I'm like, there's that word, and it's not. Nope. It's Eidolon. So anathema, anathema, whatever you want to call it, you know what you're saying.
It does say Eidolon. No, that's wrong, and I refuse to say that.
Me too. It's Eidolon.
Shut your face. It's Eidolon.
That sounds
It's
stupid.
Eidolon.
Eidolon?
That sounds stupid.
It's how it's pronounced. That's
Damn
the
grammar.
phonetic
Damn grammar. No. No.
And this is anathema. 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 However you want to say it.
Well, because anathema rolls off the anathema, because like we don't have those pronunciations on the first letter, or the, you know what I mean.
But anytime I say it 3 fucking
Well,
anathema and anathema. You know. It's like the word heretic. My sister was like, that's not how you say it. I'm like, yes, it is. How do you say it? She's like, heretic.
No, it's not. It's heretic.
I'm like, it's heretic. So I did it for her, and she's like, that is not how I've been saying that word. I'm like, you're a language teacher.
Listen, just let me have this one thing. Let me have this one thing.
It's okay.
Oh, Lord.
So,
all right, well, I need to
It's
hop
not
off.
just because we're Americans. It just sounds better.
But what book are we... I know. What book are we doing next month?
I think we're going to put it to a vote. It's going to historical romance, and I know you are going to Romanticon, so I think I want to wait till you get back so we can figure out how you're reading.
Where my brain's at.
where
Because
your
I
brain's
know
at
I've
with
been
reading.
in like romantasy mode for a long time because of this con. But I can
Mhm.
take a break. I can take a break. And I have 2 historical romances that I need to read. But they're
Okay.
more contemporary ones, and I know you like the older ones. So,
Well, I have a new release. One of them. I was thinking, The Viscount in Love. That's a new release.
I don't know what that is. Who is it by?
Eloise
Oh, no. I don't want to do like Eloise James.
Did you just say Viscount?
Hey, I'll give you 2
Viscount.
options. I'll give
This
you
is
2
her
options.
thing, okay? Give her this one thing.
Give me this
Becky.
thing. Give me this thing.
Give her
Give me
Viscount.
this thing. So
I want Eidolon.
I will have you.
Heretic.
No.
I'll
I
have
want
April
Eidolon.
decide what the 2 are, and then we'll do a vote for people to do.
Okay.
You should put the 2 options. The Viscount that loves me, or the Viscount.
Oh my god, this is so annoying. So I got a new phone, you know? But I have to log into everything. Like it downloaded everything, but I still have to log into everything. So I can't even look on my Kindle right now. But like it's the new the latest Alexis Hall one I still have. Although that one is part of a series, so maybe not. But then both of my books are part of a series, and I can't help it. And then the other one is a tropical. It's the Adriana Herrera one,
Which is also part of a series, yeah.
which is also part of a series. But they're all standalones, kind of. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to read the other books.
Because I do have her first one in that series checked out from library. I'm like, I wanted to try her out because I haven't tried her out yet.
Oh yeah, I've read the first 2. I really love them. Anyways, we'll figure it out. Yes, let's decide after Romanticon, because it'll be at the end of the month anyways.
And I'm thinking probably the 2 Fridays be for reading sprints Friday the 14th and maybe live show the 21st of March. I think.
I'm
I
gonna
know
say
we have
yes
our,
now,
I
but
don't know.
just know
It
you
might
never know
change.
what's gonna happen. Yeah.
But yeah, we have our readathon thingy majiggy on the 22nd.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
So we'll
Thanks for
figure it out.
reminding me, Crystal.
Oh yeah. The thing that we haven't announced yet.
Yeah. Thing that I thought of that I forgot.
Shh.
Don't disregard. I just said
We're not doing anything. We're not doing
Well, April isn't
any.
doing it.
I'm
April's
I'm
not
certainly
doing
not
anything.
doing anything.
See, my brain is like, oh wait, we've been talking about it. I was hearing announcement video. I'm like, oh yeah, we've been out. No, we haven't, Crystal.
First.
Open my big fat mouth. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. They don't know what it is.
Oh
The
Lord.
3
Okay.
people watching.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
They won't know. They won't know. All right. I do have to leave because I have to actually
Okay.
go get dinner. So
Well, this was a good pick.
yes, this was a great pick.
I liked it better than my own book club's pick.
Hey, we sometimes don't pick winners, so
Which
I
think
finished
is
my
fine,
book
if you
club
choose
pick.
one.
I was like, I finished it. Jackie was like, how'd you like it? I said, I finished it. So I liked this one. Good choice.
So that's why I think we picked between the two we're really excited about. That maybe that works.
yeah. That sounds good.
This is fine.
All right.
Awesome.
Bye, ladies.
All right. Well,
Thanks for having me.
to be determined or announce what we're doing in March.
That's
So
Yeah,
maybe
we
it's
will.
a bit.
We'll post it on. Well, Krista will post it on socials, and then I'll share it.
Sounds good.
And then maybe
All
Becky
right.
will join us. Maybe she
I
will.
doubt it.
Yeah, I
Neither
know
of
you
those choices really appeal to me.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
So they're not things that I've had on my radar. So
hmm
whether you choose the Viscount or the Viscount, either way, doesn't really butter my bread, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
So
All right.
Oh, I
Well.
totally missed this. Totally missed it.
Oh yes, that's my sister, and she's just as excited as I am.
isn't she going with you?
Yes, I was dragging her, but now I think she's more excited than I am.
That's funny.
So it'll be.
I wish I could do that with my sister, but my sister doesn't read the same types of books I read.
My sister did not read. She would tell you, I don't read, and now she reads.
My sister reads. She just doesn't read what I read.
Yeah.
She don't like reading romance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Contemporary.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Bye. Button. Hit the button. There we go. Bye.